Hi, I'm John DeBella from Classic Rock 102.9 MGK. Here once again for PhillyPetInfo.com, and here once again with Jim Crosby. All right, so God forbid my dog bites someone. Is there a process that I should be aware of? I mean, and not just, oh, gee, sorry, but what am I about to go through, and how do I cover myself and protect my dog?
The first thing to do would be to obviously, express. Don't say, don't give us this, oh, my dog's never done this before, because people tell us that all the time, and it's never believable. Apologize, say, look, I'm sorry you got hurt, get their information, and if there's any way you can, before they even leave, get photographs of the actual injury, because you don't want 6 months later to go, oh, yes, I was mauled by the dog, and you think back and there were 2 little holes on the back of their hands.
I remember handing him the Band-Aid.
Right. I remember, in fact, I've still got the Band-Aid wrapper. Keep the Band-Aid wrapper, guys. But take a photograph of it. Say, my insurance might need this, so let me make sure that we're both, so we can both make sure we take care of, because a dog owner is legally responsible pretty much in every state for damage caused by its dog. So be reasonable and say, I need to take a picture of that. And if you can put a ruler or a scale or even an object like a quarter
right,
in the picture so that somebody like me has a reference point, then even better. But get their information, don't get excited, get a picture, go through whatever your local processes are, and for the most part, number one, people should have their dogs vaccinated. So even if your dog doesn't wear a tag on his collar, keep the paperwork where you can find it, so that when animal control comes by, you can say, yes, my dog is vaccinated, here's the paperwork, and typically you're looking usually at a 10-day home quarantine. If you've got a shelter in your area, an animal control that insists on taking the dog, and you really don't feel comfortable with that, usually you can, at your expense, quarantine the dog at an approved veterinarian's office, which may be a better move. Shelters have limited facilities, limited people. Some are better than others. Your vet is also going to be able to address the problem if during quarantine your dog actually gets sick. And so I would say, document, realize that something's going to happen. If it was a serious bite, you should probably proactively get in touch with a trainer or a behaviorist or somebody to initiate some kind of remedial work with the dog. If it's a very serious bite, it's very likely that a local or a enforcement agency may try to declare your dog legally dangerous. Now, there's different levels of that in different places. Some places call it vicious, potentially dangerous, Tuesday, whatever. They've got different words for it. But it's a legal process, and it has legal due process. Nobody can just pick up your dog without a court order, take it to the shelter, and kill it. They can quarantine it. The health departments have certain abilities under rabies vector control to test dogs if it can't be quarantined. But it is not legal anywhere that I've ever seen for the police or animal control to seize your dog and immediately put it down, especially above your objections. If they have you sign paperwork, make sure you're not signing a surrender form. Make sure you understand what you're signing. It's not that all the enforcement people are out there to scam you. It's just being smart.
Can you be assured in any way, shape, or form that your dog is going to a non-kill shelter? Because we've heard the story so many times about a dog that's there, and the legal process is going to take what the legal process is, and all of a sudden the 30 days are up, and boom, Fido's gone.
Right. And there's no way you can guarantee that's not going to happen. All you can do is inform yourself about the law and make sure you meet all the deadlines, and make sure that if you have to hand a form in, you get 2 of them and have them sign that they've received one, so that at the very worst, you have remedies afterwards if they mess up. But you have to be aware of those time frames and make sure you meet the deadlines. If you don't meet the deadline, then you're out of luck. That's why, again, in those situations where it's legally allowed to do so, and most places are, it's worth it to come out of pocket and house the dog at a vet's office that's approved, that you trust, because the vet is not going to do anything to harm your dog. No matter what his staff does, there's much less chance of something horrible happening.
From a legal standpoint, what makes a dog dangerous?
A dangerous dog, to me, is a dog that, and the laws we're actually trying to get around the country, is a dog that is performs specific, quantifiable behaviors that injure or place at risk a person or another animal. For instance, there's a bite assessment scale that we use, or that I use. And if the level's of a certain level, but this particular dog has had, say, 3 unprovoked bites in 6 months, then the ordinance should say this is an at-risk dog, and this dog needs to have training, rehabilitation, better management, better control, whatever the municipality says. Right now, a lot of our dog laws are very vague. A lot of them will say the dog can be declared dangerous if it menaced somebody, okay? Define menace. It's kind of fuzzy-wuzzy. If it threatens somebody, okay, dogs don't call you up and say, I'm going to kick your butt. They do other things. Well, it's got to be quantifiable to apply. A lot of dog laws in the U.S. and other places are fuzzy, but the best ones are becoming behaviorally quantified. We want something that addresses not what the dog looks like, but what the dog actually does.
He is Jim Crosby, and I am John DeBella, and this is PhillyPetInfo.com, and we've got more for you, so stay tuned.